All right, returning now to that breaking news out of Manly in Sydney where the shark alarm has just gone off. Let's take these live pictures from the beach. Swimmers now out of the water there.
This comes as thousands are expected to hit our beaches this long weekend, despite a string of fatal attacks. Here to tell us how best to prepare is survival expert Michael Atkinson, aka Outback Mike. Firstly, great name, Mike, but very serious stuff to talk about. How critical is it for people to be alert, particularly if on a hot weekend like this, they're heading back to the beach?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if there's a shark alarm going off, not a good idea to enter the water. You know, and you've got to obviously realise that with those murkier waters over the previous week, there just is a higher risk. The probability is just higher, so you have to keep that in mind.
All right, so murky water, obviously a clear sign to stay out of the water. What are some of the everyday risks that we need to be looking out for aside from that?
So the water is one of the most unpredictable places. Obviously, you can have changes in weather, changes in sea state. The current can take you offshore. If you're on a boat, you know, you can break down, so it's just very unpredictable. So you've pretty much always got to plan for the worst case every time you hit the water.
Speaking of planning for the worst case, why do you have to plan for it? And how do you plan for it? A lot of people don't want to think about worst case scenarios, but if you've got to think about it, you've got to plan for it. How do you do that? Yeah,
the people that survive the best are those that have thought in their head what might happen and they've brought the right equipment with them. So, like for me, if I'm heading out in the water, I'm always taking a PLB. Not if I'm surfing, but if I'm heading out on a boat, for example, I'm always got a PLB like this one from GME.
Sorry, a PLB is a
personal locator beacon.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is waterproof. You can just pretty much turn it on. Red button for help, green button for pizza. Pizza doesn't actually come, but it's a good business idea. But you'll get help with one of these things, and they transmit a continuous homing signal. So even if you're drifting, they will be able to find you. Whereas if you've got on a phone, that capability isn't there.
Mike, awful news this week with so many shark attacks, but one of the remarkable takeaways that I've found is the many Australians who were bystanders who rushed in to help. If you are walking along the beach and an emergency situation unfolds, someone is attacked by a shark, what is the first thing you should do to help?
Cool. Obviously, get someone calling 000 straight away. Try and remove the person from the water, and stopping the blood loss is critical. So direct pressure with a bandage or a tourniquet, whatever you've got. And then just reassure the person you're pretty much treating a shock patient, so you want to have their head downhill to keep the blood in the vital organs. And yeah, reassure them. If you've got to, back it up with the phone. And if you are outside phone coverage, there are other options as well.
I know that most Aussies probably don't have a tourniquet if they're just going out for a stroll along the beach. What are some other things you can use to apply as a tourniquet? Because that can be a life-saving piece of material, right?
Sure, yep. So surfers have got leg ropes, which you can use. You can improvise clothing, any kind of ratchet strap out of the back of a car. And you want to put it above where the bite is, a few inches, and just tighten it up until the bleeding stops.
Alrighty.
Wonderful, useful advice, Mike. Thank you very much.
Yeah, timely advice too. Thanks for joining us this morning.